There are two other options on this instrument. We have finger and transpose. Now fingering switches between saxophone fingering and flute fingering. And I'm going to go through the notes now and show you what the notes are and how the fingering works on the saxophone setting. Now there is information in the booklet about the official way to use this instrument in the saxophone setting, but I have found a really easy way, especially for me as a tin whistle player, to remember how to find all the notes in the saxophone setting. So I'm going to show you that. At the moment, the instrument is in the key of D. So if I cover 3 holes at the top and 3 holes at the bottom, this instrument will play a D. Now the scale itself isn't D diatonic as on a tin whistle, so it doesn't play D, E, F sharp, it plays D, E, F. So in order to get the F sharp, or the sharps and flats, you can actually use these little holes here. The easiest way to do this is on the left hand. Putting your finger on the top hole on the left hand will make the note sharper. Putting your finger on the bottom hole on the left hand will make the note flatter. So for example, here we have a D. If I put my little finger on the top hole, we'd have a D sharp. If I put my little finger on the bottom hole, we'd have a D flat. So I'm going to take you through a scale from the bottom right the way up through all the chromatic notes I've found on this instrument, and pay close attention to the finger holes. I'll try and add some sort of tab on screen as well, but I've had to create this myself, so I've no idea how it's going to look right now while I'm filming. Now, not forgetting the pads at the back, change the octave. So we have lower octave, middle octave, higher octave, like this. We also have a transpose button here, which you can use to change the key of the instrument. You can transpose up and down to your heart's content and play in any key that you need to. Just remember that by using the transpose button, when you then play 6 fingers down, you'll have a different starting note than you would when you first start out in the key of D. One final thing I wanted to show you was the fingering for the flute setting. Now, if I press on finger and press the plus button, I get to setting 2, that is the flute setting. And this is the most similar to tin whistle. Now, in order to use this like a tin whistle, we do have to play around a little. If we press the finger button, press the plus button and go to option 2, that is the flute fingering setting. And it kind of works like a tin whistle, we just need to fiddle around a bit to get the C sharp. So at the moment I have the instrument set to play D when I put 6 holes down, like this. So on this scale, we've got D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, and then if we've got all fingers off or even 2 fingers down, we play C, natural. So in order to get the C sharp, we need to use this little finger hole here, and that gives us the sharpened C. So to play like a tin whistle, we'd play pretty much 6 holes down. Now, one of the other things I've noticed is that you can actually utilize dynamics on this instrument. So although you can't slide on and off notes for sliding ornaments, you can play rolls and cuts somewhat because removing any finger even slightly will register on this instrument. So as an example, and the finger that you lift does change the intonation somewhat, it changes the note slightly, so it does have a different sound. So you can play around a lot with the sound quality and the interesting little flourishes you can make with this instrument. One other thing I absolutely love is the fact that you can actually use your breath to make it louder or quieter. So you can fade notes off, you can give notes more power as you like. And the higher the breath control settings, the more sensitive or the more dynamics it allows you to have. I've got it on the lowest setting at the moment, so I don't really need a lot of breath to put into this, but still I can manage to give notes more and less strength. I'll give you an example. And as this instrument recognizes the amount of breath that you put in, you can also include your own vibrato in this as well. So you can play straight notes or vibrated notes using your breath.